This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We got 6 games here on a Monday. James, it is Super Bowl week. We have the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday, Chiefs, 49ers. But fortunately, basketball takes center stage until then. We even have a 2 games on Sunday slate to kind of kick off, lead into the Super Bowl. We know where the real show is going to be here this week. It's right here on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel, right here with your NBA DFS coverage. James and myself here every morning or evening, whenever you're watching the pre-show. And then we're live 5 p.m. Eastern time. So if you haven't already hit the subscribe channel, do that so you never miss a live show, and like today's show as well. Leave a comment. Let us know your favorite picks, plays, props, you name it. Throw it in the comment section. Help us out there with the YouTube algorithm, boost the show, and allow us to do a lot more great things for you guys here, especially when it comes to our NBA DFS coverage. James, we're sitting here Sunday night, sweating out some plays. You were sweating out a pay line, cash line there in DFS. I was on the unfortunate tilt end of a Colin Sexton fourth quarter benching as Keontae George led a 20-point fourth quarter win against the Milwaukee Bucks there. Fell short of his point prop of 20.5, 19 points for Colin Sexton. So I turned the page, you turned the page. It is Monday. We have 6 games on this slate, 7 p.m. start, 8 p.m. is our final game on this slate. So a lot of news jammed into a little bit amount of time, hopefully, as well when it comes to lineup decisions, because there are quite a few players that are questionable to play on this slate. And one player, Joel Embiid, already ruled out and will be ruled out for the foreseeable future as he is having surgery on some meniscus flap injury thing. Tough break for JoJo. We'll make for an interesting slate moving forward, though.
Hopefully JoJo heals. I saw the latest post, I believe it was Woj, that said they're not shutting the door on his season. So hopefully he does return. His goal was to be good for the postseason. That's, I think, what everyone wants. We want to see Joel Embiid be good in the postseason because he hasn't been. So salute to JoJo. Hopefully he gets better soon. But Antonio Banderas meme, John, you know the Antonio Banderas, the face to the 8 p.m. That is nice. And I looked to check to see if the schedule makers were no late games. They're not even leaving off the late game. So 8 p.m. was just what the NBA was like good doing.
And we have that a lot this week. You'll see there's a lot of games. The slate's size this week are pretty good. They're in that 6 to 8 game window for the majority of the week here. So we will see if they do cut off any of the 10 p.m. games, which to your point, 7 p.m. start, 8 p.m. is our late night hammer on this slate. Lakers, Charlotte. Charlotte is on the second leg of a back-to-back here. They're getting 10.5 points against the Lakers, 231.5 game total there. Sacramento, Cleveland. Cleveland's at home, giving 5.5, 233.5 game total for that one. Dallas, Philadelphia, 76ers are home, getting 1 point. That's a 242.5 game total. Luka Doncic is questionable. Kyrie Irving is probable to play in this game. So that is certainly something to keep eyes on because if Luka sits and Kyrie is good to go. I don't know if you've seen the Kyrie Irving price tag, but it is something.
Yep. It's now.
Something. Clippers, Hawks. Atlanta is getting 3.5 at home, 244 game total. The Clippers are on the second leg of a back-to-back. Paul George is expected to suit up for this game. Golden State versus Brooklyn. Brooklyn at home, give it a 1.5, a 236.5 game total there. And then our final game of the slate, Toronto, New Orleans. Toronto, second leg of a back-to-back for them. New Orleans is a 11.5 point home favorite here, 233 total.
So, John, do you know what this week is? Yeah. NBA trade deadline week.
It is NBA trade deadline week. It's true.
So February 8th, we are just days away. As you were going through these matchups, and like any team is liable to make a trade, I was like, well, the Lakers, the Hornets, who knows what Philly's going to do now that with Embiid. Dallas is apparently talking about Dorian Finney-Smith. The Kings need somebody. Harrison Barnes, but almost like every team. I just saw the Clippers are rumored to look into an Eastern Conference forward. They may or may not have just played. The Warriors are probably going to trade everyone after Stephen Curry gave the opposing team 60 and they lost. The Raptors are going to be a hot commodity in trade talks. It is something to monitor moving forward until Thursday, where maybe a DeJounte Murray, if trade talks heat up, is limited.
Yeah.
Maybe a player that is questionable is kept off the floor or just doesn't play, or in some capacity.
Yeah.
Warriors not running Andrew Wiggins out there if there's any serious injury with him because he left. I mean, he's listed doubtful. So like sore left ankle after leaving none of this should catch us by surprise if we're just aware of like all the teams that are rumored to trades. But just when
Hug watches are live this week.
They're very, very live. So a lot of good matchups, but a lot of things that could change within these matchups. We're a Shams / Woj up tweet away from
we preach a lot to have your notifications turned on. If you follow us on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it these days, follow Shams, follow Woj, hit that notification button, and just have those notices pushed to your phone. I mean, we have them pushed to our phones, so we always get the live updates. Sometimes you'll see us reference those live updates that come through while we're doing the show. It's because we have those notifications turned on, so we are never behind the news. Of course, if you're in our Fantasy Time Discord, we also have the Lineups and News channel. And you can see that and get those updates as they happen there, as well as you can follow up and see what is going on with everybody's roster leading into lineup lock. Let's get into the slate, though, here, James. 6 games, as we talked about. Top overall price players, Luka Doncic, Domantas Sabonis, LeBron James are the 3 guys up over 10K. When it comes to the point guard position, Luka's 12K. Again, questionable there with that ankle. Still looked pretty good the other day. 68 fantasy points, 40 actual. Yeah, he seemed fine. Seems fine. But they do have Kyrie Irving expected to come back, so they could give him a rest here. Donovan Mitchell, obviously now more of the shooting guard with Darius Garland back. Trae Young, $9,500. Man, talk about heartbreak there. Guy only had 6 assists in the game where they had 141 points scored. He had 35 actual, which is nice, but 48 fantasy points and 35 actual from Trae Young. We were, my DFS lineups were looking for more to the 60s and 50s here when you see him put up 35 actual, but get the Clippers matchup, certainly can do that. Steph there against Brooklyn at 94. Maxey by himself against Dallas at $9,100 here. And LaMelo Ball still dealing with the ankle, probably not going to play on Monday.
Yeah, it's a really good tier of guards. If Luka plays, I don't think we'd have an issue getting there. We know this Philly defense is clearly different when it's Paul Reed and Mo Bamba and Marcus Morris in the front court versus Joel Embiid, who guards sometimes doesn't traditionally guard centers and just roams around the rim and blocks a lot of shots. So I'm good getting to Luka if he plays. Donnie Mitch has been amazing, dude. Without Garland, without Mobley, it doesn't matter. He's just on an absolute heater right now. So he's one of the league's best players, scorers, both. And I don't think he gets enough credit for it, just given he's played for Utah and Cleveland as his 2 teams in his career. So if you want to get to Donovan Mitchell in a massive pace-up spot against Sacramento, I'm definitely in on that because Cleveland's offense continues to roll with Darius Garland and Evan Mobley in. They were top 2 offense in the league in January, and now Garland and Mobley come back and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, 117 last game against Spurs, sure, yep. It's just all systems go. So if you want to get to Mitchell, by all means. You mentioned the Trae Young thing, maybe some tired legs for the Clippers. The Clippers are decent defensively. They're just brutalizing teams offensively. They're just bashing everyone offensively. You can still score on them. So I'm definitely good with getting to Trae. And then you've said it a bunch lately. We're starting to get the Steph Curry games.
Bro scored 60 actual, man.
Bro, he scored 60. This is the 3rd time this year a player has scored 60 and lost a game. It's maybe that's a curse. Maybe 60, you need to just get to 70 to feel comfortable with it. Because I mean, it's hard not to want to get to Steph here, just given what he's done and given what the on-ball defense he's going to face is. I believe Dorian Finney-Smith is out. That's their best perimeter defender. He's probably we'll see Bridges. It just hasn't really mattered lately who's guarded Steph Curry. I agree. I think LaMelo sits. What do we 9,100 for Tyrese Maxey feels like they had an opportunity to not have a $9,100 Tyrese Maxey because we have known throughout the last how many days that
Yeah. I think we know what the fantasy points per minute can be. We know what he just did against Utah, but we've had a lot more 30s and 40s without Joel Embiid lately than we have the Utah
yeah,
game. So, I think he's priced fine because I do think that there's a floor that is,
sure.
40 fantasy points. It's not 60 fantasy points, right? So,
Tobias is also questionable in this game.
yeah.
And like they just already without Melton, maybe without Tobias, no Batum, no Embiid. Like Batum's out, Embiid's out, Melton's out. Could be without Toby.
Yeah.
It legitimately could just be Tyrese Maxey by himself. And I'm not sitting here saying that's necessarily the best thing because Toby does provide like a good secondary scorer.
Yeah.
But
I'm not
also
saying I don't think I would fade him by any sense of the imagination. I just, I get why they kept him where he is because there's been plenty of times this year, obviously with Embiid's
sure.
injuries, that he's had the team to himself, and he's honestly he's struggled. Right, he's been better with Embiid more often than not than without. Harden's at 87 against Atlanta. It's another great matchup for James Harden, especially if you're going to have a limited Paul George. I mean, guy went for 53 fantasy points here against Miami. Weird game against Detroit. He went 1 for 10, of all games that he would flake, went 1 for 10 in that game. But 2 of 50 plus games in the last 3 in Atlanta. Certainly a team that can give it up to the guards here. So as we just saw from Steph Curry, mentioned Kyrie Irving. I mean, it's only a thumb. So if
It is the shooting hand for context.
I don't think that limits him though. Right?
I mean, if he's good to go, I assume that it's fine.
Right. So if Kyrie's out, I mean, if Luka's out, Kyrie's a lock and load auto play. But we were playing Kyrie with Luka there for a bit. Mid AKs is a he can get you 45 at 85. So
yep.
I definitely think Kyrie Irving's in play here. I said this the other day in the playbook when I wrote him up. Why was he 82 and why is he 83?
Yeah.
Now Cleveland at home, obviously really good defense. Yada 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 yada. Yeah, Fox is not an $8,300 player. He should be with Maxey at like 91.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got nothing. I got nothing on the Fox.
I hear you, man. It doesn't make much sense to me. Garland's still limited, so tough to want to pay the price there. D'Angelo Russell, again, when everybody's back and around, like the ceiling doesn't always there. It is a great spot for point guards.
Yep.
But I don't think unless LeBron or AD is out, and you mentioned it's got to be LeBron that's out, right? Not Anthony Davis.
Yes, he's been much better with. And I don't know if they sit. LeBron has a clear rest spot on Sunday because LePickham has to get his picks out for DraftKings on that day,
sure.
Right, so clear rest spot is coming up. I think he plays however many other games they have this week. LePickham's sitting Sunday. Like, let's be real. He's got picks to make. He's got videos to shoot.
You can't sign an NFL partnership before the Super Bowl, then not be around.
I know. So I expect LeBron to play, but it is. We've seen it before. Like it's
Charlotte. Hey, it's a Monday in Charlotte.
Ooh. Now let's hear. We have to tune into what LeBron and AD are talking. If we hear like some Tatum conversation going on, like we need to show.
I'll forever remember the Monday in Charlotte from Jason Tatum, man.
Yes,
that's etched in memory. Jason Tatum shows up. He doesn't care.
Correct.
Anyways, more guys down here. Quickly, 7K. McCollum 69. Cam Thomas is 66 against Golden State. What are we doing in the 6K-ish range?
Cam Thomas, Shishington lately.
It's like he's a bucket, you know?
I mean, like, I mean, so
Why is he 66?
yeah. So Simmons is back here, reportedly. We'll see, right? There's obviously
Yeah, but there was limitations to him that last time, so
he's probable. He's out. Won't play. I swore that he's okay. So he's gonna play Tuesday.
okay.
They also have Ben Simmons listed as a center only, just for if you're ready for that for Tuesday. No Simmons the last 2 games, and we've seen and the Phoenix game only 33 minutes because he lost minutes in a blowout. 36 minutes in competitive game against Philly. This guy is, you said it all along. Like, he is on a different level. And Spencer Dinwiddie, again, John, just like flat out benched.
When I talk about a guy that's getting traded.
Yeah, 25 minutes. They turned to Lonnie Walker again. If that's the lineup that they're going to use, it's not only that he's scoring, he's effectively their point guard too. Like, he's being the primary playmaker for this.
What was our biggest complaint about him earlier in the year was that he was just buckets, which was fine.
Yeah.
But now he's more. Now he's giving you a couple of rebounds. He's giving you the Jordan Clarkson, right? Like, give us the Jordan Clarkson where you're going to go score 25 actual, but give us a couple of rebounds, give us a couple of assists, and have a ceiling, a little bit there. Right. So, $6,600 Cam Thomas, obviously just a great play. Podzinski broke the slate a couple nights ago and then bounced back with another double-double, but in rebounds this time. I mean, we saw this from him earlier this year.
He'll start. He's going to start. Yeah. With Wiggins.
No Chris Paul. I mean, dude, great rookie. Again, we talk about it all the time, man. The rookies that come into this league, like they've been better and better almost every year, top to bottom here. So, can certainly plug in Podzinski, point guard, shooting guard at 57. Pat Bev's up to 56. He only played 20 minutes and 18 minutes the last couple of games. So, one of those games there, he was ejected, but difficult to, I don't know, continue to play him, I guess. I don't know. There's Pod's right there. I'd rather just play Pod. What are you doing in the 5K and under tier?
I mean, we're starting to look at the Malik Monk thing again and being like, oh, right, that's who that guy is, right? And we've seen this throughout his time in Sacramento. When he's going, he's going. And at 5,400, this is a guy that like breaks slates. At 5,400, there's a reason why he was 6K plus for a month straight, and we're still paying that price. So 5,400 Malik Monk is a fantastic price. If Lucas sits, maybe they extend Jaden Hardy, but 4,900 is not a very comfortable price tag. The Hornets started Ish Smith.
Yeah.
Because Cody Martin also sat. And I wonder if the Cody Martin injury was because of a back-to-back. If Cody Martin sits again, I mean, he had 26 minutes. That's fine. He was in foul trouble early in the half. We talked about it on last week's stream that Steve Clifford, head coach of the Hornets, doesn't trust his players. So if Ish Smith is playing 26 minutes, he is one of the guys that he's like comfortable with, obviously. So $3,600, if he were to start at point guard, I'd be okay with it. I wanted to ask you about Lester Quininos, John, the guy in the Warriors. He had a really good summer league. He was scoring a lot. He is playing over Corey Joseph as the backup guard. There's no Wiggins, obviously. That puts Pajemski more like off the ball. I guess. Oh, Moses Moody's back.
What's the Moody status?
Okay, Moody's back.
Yeah.
Okay, this is his first official game back. Okay, I digress.
I mean, they could still use him, but I want to see what this looks like with Moody back before we jump into that.
Okay, sounds good.
Shooting guard position here again. Some guys we've already discussed. Can't really pay for Paul George if he's going to be on any sort of limits. He did play 33 minutes, and now it's the back-to-back. So I do worry a little bit about that here.
Great price. Great price. I'll whisper it It's Atlanta, great price.
Yeah, it is a great price. No arguments. I would like it to just not be on the second leg of a back-to-back.
I know.
Because you got the second leg here. Now it was a little bit of a blowout, but 28-22. So
Yeah.
something to watch for there. DeJounte here is at 78, could be traded, but the minutes are certainly going to be there. You got Ingram at 77, Mikal at 72, which is a good price for Mikal Bridges there. Thoughts on the 7K range?
Murray's fine. He seems really safe, and I say that in a way that if he's not traded in the middle of a game, he's really safe. I mean, dating back to January 17th was the last time DeJounte Murray's gone under 36 DraftKings points. So at 7,800, if you want to play DeJounte Murray, very nice cash game floor for you. I really like the Ingram spot. Now this could turn into one of those blowout games. The Raptors, John, double overtime against the Thunder, and we're beating the Thunder bad. And then SGA, Chet, Lou Dort, Aaron Wiggins, who we've shouted out a lot on this show, all like Giddy, all went nuclear in the second half and overtime. I mean, dude, the minutes on the Raptors were pretty brutal, and that was in OKC. And I'm not saying,
and they have some guys coming back from injury, obviously. So
yeah, and I'm not saying like the travel is necessarily terrible going from Oklahoma to New Orleans, or Louisiana, but 40 plus minutes on like 6 guys, and now you're traveling. That could be a little worrisome, but I like the pace up spot for New Orleans. Toronto has played really fast with their starting 5 active, and they got Hurdle back, they had Quickly back, they had everyone back. And you saw the Thunder scored a lot of points in regulation first off, and then a lot of points in overtimes as well. So I really like the Pelicans here. I know I didn't mean to like gloss over McCollum, and I know you like kind of gave him a shout, and we were just talking about other prices, but the Pelicans are extremely interesting here. Ingram 77, shooting guard, small forward, really good positional eligibility as well. The Bridges price, I just have a hard time looking at 7,200 Mikal Bridges and not wanting to play him, especially when Ben Simmons isn't there. I mean, even when Ben Simmons is there, I think there's good correlation because Ben Simmons sets up the other players so well. But
I mean, the threes are nice, right? I mean,
dude, he just has such a high, like, we have just seen it since he's gotten to Brooklyn. He has a crazy ceiling that he just didn't have in Phoenix. Now, I wish that like the floor was more consistent. And I think that's why they consistently price him at this, but those ceiling Mikal Bridges games are like games where you see it was like he just scored 17 in the first quarter. You're like, damn, I wish I played him at 7,200. And this is, dude, Golden State cannot stop anything. They cannot stop anybody. I've been screaming it from the rooftops to you, like, hey, Golden State, worst defensive team in January. And then they just gave up 140 to Atlanta. I know there's overtime, but 140 to like a bad.
And they're on the road again here too. So this is their 3rd straight road game.
4th, I think, because I don't. You're looking at.
I
You
clicked
clicked
on
on
Clay.
Clay.
He missed the game, right? He missed the game.
3rd.
So.
It is 3rd. It is 3rd. Still.
Okay. 3rd straight road game. So yeah, for sure. And we know how that plays on teams, right? Being on the road, traveling, and all that stuff. So I'm totally on board with him. More of a reason why I kind of like, again, Cam Thomas is $600 cheaper. Like, just fire away. Yep. Underneath them, I mean, we talked about some of these guys already. You have to kind of pick somebody on Philly to play. Does Oubre step into that role if Toby's out for you as a guy that could be that number 2 scorer here?
Seems like he would just have to. They just don't. I don't know where else they would turn. I mean, you're gonna start in that case if Toby's out. Daniel House is in your starting lineup, probably. Paul Reed's in your starting lineup. Daniel House, maybe Beverly. I mean, that's just an Oubre. Like that would have to be. It would have to be Oubre as your second option. I'm looking up per 36. I have Melton off the floor. So if you take Embiid and Tobias Harris off the floor and not even including D'Anthony Melton, Kelly Oubre has an 8% usage bump. So as I workshop this in real time here, John.
I'm letting you do your thing, man. I'm watching the artist work.
Kelly Oubre 8% usage bump when Melton, Embiid, Toby are off the floor. 1 fantasy point per minute. It's a 27% usage rate. There's a 219-minute sample. So Tyrese Maxey in that instance, by the way, 14% usage rate to 41% and 1.45 fantasy points per minute. So like it's Oubre and it's Maxey pretty much at all times. And Paul Reed has a good fantasy point per minute output, and so does Mo Bamba. But it would, if Toby sits, definitely interested in some Oubre at 65. I don't think I would get there if Toby plays. I could be sold on it, but I probably wouldn't get there unless Toby sits.
Sure. Any interest in Clay here or anybody else under 6K?
The next 4 names are like the same player. Tim Hardaway, Klay Thompson, Bogdanovich. I mean, that's all the same GPP.
If Luka's out, Hardaway's appealing. Obviously, whenever he can be the number 2 scorer, there's more upside for him there. Bogdan, again, a guy that if someone's out of the lineup, will benefit. They didn't have Bay. The other day, he played 38 minutes. Hunter's been in and out of lineups. He's been getting more minutes from that as well. So certainly can pop off at $5,900. We talked Podziemski already. Bruce Brown's fine. I don't care. I'd rather play some of the more higher upside players around him.
No, he's done. Did you see the minutes tonight? Everyone back? Like, unless somebody sits.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm assuming because everybody played all those minutes and he only played 18 or whatever, that if people are gonna sit, he would be the one that would benefit from that.
That's fair.
So,
and he also might be traded.
Could also be traded. But like I said, there's higher upside guys around him. So probably a no for me. Kevin Huerter, just missed all of his shots the other night and therefore played 21 minutes and kind of vaulted the Monk play up there. But he's going to start. If he gets hot, they'll keep him on the floor. Cleveland, not a great spot generally for those matchups. Anyhow, you know how I feel about my boy Norm Powell. Another big night for him scoring-wise. Yep. Generally paying off the 5K price tag. You got Murphy down here, Trent, and any of these guys for you, Lonnie?
Right to Lonnie. To Lonnie. Plug and play Lonnie Walker and don't look back. And you're a Lonnie Walker
guys
guy.
They have on their team that take 15+ shots, man.
Dude, how did you see the interview that Lonnie Walker is making the league minimum this year? How is Lonnie Walker still making the league minimum? Like, this guy is a certified bucket.
Didn't get his contract picked up by the Spurs, right? And they got traded and went to the Lakers and
certified, John. Certified bucket. No Ben Simmons, no Dorian Finney-Smith. I think it's just lock and load season. Dennis Smith Jr. is probable, but like his minutes have fallen. Dinwiddie's minutes have fallen, and it's all because they can't get enough of Lonnie Walker.
Yeah. Would you be tempted by Moses Moody here?
No.
Okay.
Only reason I say that, and I know he had been playing like a few more minutes prior to the
22 and 25. Yeah.
The Pelicans game was obviously
blowout. Both games actually were blowouts. So
really bad. And if I remember correctly, and I might be wrong, on the Pelicans game, that was possibly a second leg of a back-to-back where he started the second half, or I forget what happened. But we know this rotation is just too sketchy, and now he's missed like almost a month. It's a no for me, unless they were like Moses Moody's going to start and play 30 minutes no matter what tonight. That would probably be the only scenario I'd get there.
Mm-hmm. Moving on over to small forward. There's obviously guys with dual positional eligibility. LeBron. I don't know why Kawhi Leonard is still under 9K.
It's criminal.
Literally
criminal.
He doesn't really make any sense.
He's gonna be so popular on this slate. It's Atlanta. He's gonna be so popular on this slate.
He should be a 9,500 and above play. Again, not taking anything away from LeBron if he's good to go. I mean, we just saw what he did when he came back against the Knicks, and it's obviously a great spot for him there. This man though, done 34 minutes. I mean, fouled out of the game, but had some pretty big performances lately. He's still only 7K.
Yeah, I'm sad that he was 7K, or that he fouled out and whatever. But he was really, really popular in that game. So if you played Kuminga, like it hurt, but you could still have cashed, just considering how popular he was. But yeah, the minutes have been fantastic. No reason to think that they're gonna stop anytime soon either. So
Brandon Miller, I tweeted that he's going to be a problem in this league. He's kind of already a problem in this league. Yes, the Indiana Pacers beat them at home, but I mean, listen, the Hornets aren't expected to win many games this year. They're going to be rebuilding around LaMelo and Brandon Miller. They're going to trade Bridges soon. It could be tomorrow, right? The Phoenix Suns are closing in on Bridges here. So this could just soon be a Brandon Miller only team. And the man is stepping up. He not only took 12 free throws here, he was 5 of 12 from 3, 10 of 25 from the floor. Gives you some rebounds, still giving you some defense here. Back-to-back 50 fantasy point games, and he's still under $7,000.
Yeah, I'll say I agree on every front. He's been great. He is a very volatile player at this point, and he's a rookie, right? That's probably like
I would say he's been less volatile lately.
Well, we thought that. Well,
he gets off to slow starts, but he plays all the minutes.
I agree. It's not like from a minute standpoint. We saw this for a 4-game stretch last week or 2 weeks ago, and then he had a 9 fantasy point game followed by a 19 fantasy point game.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying, it's not volatility from a minute standpoint. He's going to play all the minutes. It's not like necessarily from even attempts. He's just going to take a lot of shots. Like they don't have another options to take shots, and Steve Clifford's like letting him play through it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the volatility of like made shots and also sometimes peripheral stats have still peaked their head. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen in this spot, but if you're like gung-ho and playing Miller in something like cash game, it's, I would say, a little risky because he has still shown a pretty low floor.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just given the starting lineup that they're throwing out right now, I don't know.
Dude, don't you dare disrespect.
I don't see a complete floor game coming out of him against the Lakers, who also don't play much of any.
They're again. I'm not saying necessarily that I do like the spot. Lakers are 6th in pace. That's a good spot.
Can't defend the 3-point line.
They can't defend the 3-point line. They're 15th overall defensive rating, but again, them and the Bulls are the worst 2 3-point defenses in the NBA. Yeah. So I don't disagree. I'm just saying more from like a cash game perspective. One of those things I would be okay with, like not playing.
Okay. Other guys down here, 6K range, a lot we've already discussed. Anybody we haven't that you have an eye on?
I've kept my eye on Cam Johnson's minutes, and they haven't gone away. So 30, 29, 33 minutes over the last 3 games. The price has gone down since the start of that span, and now 32, 28, 31 fantasy points. No Simmons, so the minutes are still going to be there. No Dorian Finney-Smith, the minutes are still going to be there. He's a pretty good rebounder. He's getting peripheral stats, and he can shoot. So 5K Cam Johnson is kind of like
I was going to say, just seeing another 5 of 12, 6 of 12, 6 of 10 doesn't seem like anybody in Brooklyn is missing shots lately. Like they're all shooting like 45 to 50% here. So
and they lost by 16 in one of those.
Yeah, well, and they're not great defensively. Anybody else down here for you? We talked about Lonnie Walker already, but outside of him, any other names that you want to discuss?
I would like to discuss how hilarious Harrison Barnes is in general, but that's that.
Yeah. Where's that price? There he is. 4,800. Plays 35 minutes. Barely hit shots. The night before though, like
it's hilarious. Herb is questionable.
Road games though. Jeez.
I know they have played a lot of road games.
Is it seven straight road games?
Yeah, it's sick. I mean, that's a sick joke.
I get it. They're the West Coast, so they have to go on these like East Coast runs, but like that's not fair.
That's not fair. I would be okay getting to Trey Murphy. Okay with it is a loose term. They're just like he's been whatever.
What was the fallout of the Vanderbilt minutes?
Taurean Prince.
Okay.
But also, him and Austin Reeves went on this like sick. So also, backtrack. Prince came off the bench in that game, and they started Hachimura, which I found interesting. They started Hachimura next to LeBron and AD, and then Hachimura didn't really do much. And they went to Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince and Austin Reeves scored like 16 straight points in the fourth quarter of the next game, and like they won. So I would assume that would be the route that they go again, where they bring Torian Prince off the bench. But he's just going to play. It seems like he's just going to play more minutes than Roy Hachimura, right, at this point. So I'm okay getting Torian Prince, and that's coming from me, who, I don't really like rostering Torian Prince all that much.
Sure. Power forward, we got Anthony Davis, LeBron James, two guys up here. Kawhi, Miles Bridges here at $8,200. Zion is currently listed as questionable. He had 52 fantasy points in his last game against San Antonio. 7,500 is a good price tag for Zion if he was to be in. You talked Toby, you got Jalen Johnson. What are our thoughts here in the top half of the power forward position?
Is this a double or a back-to-back for the Pelicans? It's not.
Believe so, yeah.
I was looking to see if it's front leg. It's not. They don't play again until Wednesday. Obviously, you can get to either. Ooh. Anthony Davis at 9,900.
Against Charlotte?
You want to mention him at center, but that's couldn't make it. Couldn't. There's no chance I can get the center if I see Anthony Davis at 9,900.
The question is more so how long does I know you don't do blowouts anymore. So there's still been a ton of blowouts in the league. We don't do blowouts anymore.
Hasn't affected me. It's been glorious for me the last couple of nights. So we're rolling right now. Yeah. Now that I've removed it from my mind. John, I played 3 Memphis Grizzlies tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they lost by 100.
They had nobody else to play.
I'm just telling you. I'm just letting you know. I played.
You could have also played Tatum in that game and been perfectly okay with it as well. So
I could have. Well, that's because Boston let them hang around for way too long again, and then they were like, "Actually, let's get this over."
Won the fourth quarter by 17. Game, so.
But 80 and 900 is stupid. Miles Bridges is gonna play all the minutes. I know you've already alluded to that. Zion is really intriguing at 75 if he plays, and if he doesn't, we know we're gonna have some value available to us. Same thing with Toby at 74. Very interesting if Toby plays at 74. Really interesting that this illness came back, huh? Because he had an illness, got rid of the illness, came back, scored 28, and helped them win against Utah in the game that and then has an illness again. So that's a little interesting to see that he's sick, but he logged a full practice, John, reportedly, to Wise Harris on Sunday. So it looks like he could play. Jalen Johnson, continue to say it. I mean, if he's playing with Trae Young, there's just an infinite lead.
I mean, yes, obviously that game, 43 minutes overtime. Double-digit rebounds again, though, man. The rebounding has been pretty legit for him. Even in some tougher spots. So I like that a lot for him. Draymond, 64.
Did you see the Mobley game? I didn't mean to go to Draymond. Did you see the Mobley game from the other day? He is hilarious.
24 minutes. I mean,
that is hilarious. Not that I want to play it. I just hilarious that's what Evan Mobley can do when he wants to.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, listen, I've been telling you forever that he's a really great player. I mean, that was with Jared Allen going for 26 and 16 as well. So, it didn't even matter.
The Draymond thing is, 6 rebounds. I mean, I know the team scored 140 points and there wasn't a lot of rebounds available, but 6.
Yeah.
That's tough. When you get those games from Draymond, and we're not.
It's not like the worst killer. You need 32 for 5x to give you 27.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it is, but he's gonna be low owned. Where I
think he's a good cash game play.
Yeah, he's fine. That's a good cash. He is a good cash game
play. Where are we going after that? I played a Gonku. Dude, I'm so upset that I didn't end up cashing yesterday because I played a Gonku at under 10%. And
he had a ceiling
smashed, and Capella's hurt. So
is Capella out?
Yeah, 7 to 10 days.
Oh, 7-10 days. Perfect. Wow, perfect time for them to trade him. Yeah. Wow, we can just get Onyeka Ngannou moving forward
against the Clippers tonight in this matchup. Good spot for centers.
Yeah, and I wonder if Zubac's returned.
He did, yeah.
I wonder if he
plays the back-to-back.
I mean, he didn't play a lot. He played 18 minutes, so it makes you wonder. But I would love to get to Onyeka Ngankwu 5100 multi-position eligible. He's going to be one of the more popular plays of the slate for sure.
And because he got the dual positional eligibility, so
Yep.
it's even better for him there.
Yep.
Obviously Philly guys, whoever starts is going to be in play here, so
Yep.
Can go there. Anybody else for you?
I mean, Josh Green coming off a game in which he played 38 minutes against Milwaukee, almost doubled. The scoring has been a little better for Josh Green. I mean, 3 games of 18 plus in 3 of his last 5. If there's no Luka, I'd be okay getting to Josh Green.
Is his dude? Yeah, yesterday I bet his 3-point prop. It was at 1.5. It was like plus 110. I was like, he shoots threes. Like,
he does shoot a lot of threes.
Like,
I mean, he has Luka setting him up, drawing all the attention, right? So I'm okay getting to Josh Green if Luka sits. I don't think 4,900 for Josh Green with Luka and Kyrie is a no.
Yeah, probably
me,
no.
But
No,
with both those guys, what is Kleba? Kleba played. Wow, dude.
He started, dude. No Lively. He played 30 minutes.
I know, but look at this now. Look at this BS now. It's like, oh, you're telling me that the guy with the the constant dislocation of a toe plays 34 minutes and now he's questionable.
Yeah.
Is this not like, have we not seen this constantly? Like, people are just doing dumb stuff with players that constantly are injured or rushing back too early. And then, hey, guys, hey, did you see what happened to Halliburton? Hey, did you see what happened to Embiid? Hey, like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I'll also say, and this is a PSA to those of you who are tuning in, because I saw some comments in our Discord about how they had plugged in Rashawn Holmes and then set it, forget it, and walked away. Didn't see the updated lineup from Dallas that Maxi Kleber was starting. You can't set and forget it in the NBA.
No.
Yeah, our ownership and everybody's ownership across the industry had Rashawn Holmes as one of the highest roster plays because he played 30 plus minutes the game before that.
Yep.
Maxi Kleber was active. He started. He played all the minutes. Rashawn Holmes didn't get on the floor. You gotta be around for roster lock. You have to have the notifications on. It's just the nature of the beast with NBA DFS. You have to be available to get those lineup updates. Otherwise, you're gonna eat a zero like I did a couple nights ago with DeAndre Jordan. I'm preaching to the choir here. Still somehow managed to cash that night because me and 40% of the field played a zero DeAndre Jordan over on FanDuel. So, just the way it is sometimes.
One more name. I got one more name.
Okay.
If Zion and Herb are out, Najee Marshall.
Sure.
I'll only say it because he played 31 minutes in that Houston game where they were both out. So
such a gross low usage player, but he's just
is a fantasy point per minute guy when no Zion, no Herb.
So Trey Lyles hit 5 threes.
He does this. He is randomly so good. Like,
he went 5 for 5 from 3 to start that game. So just calling that up. Just wanted to bring attention to what he did to the Bulls there. Center position. You do have
you asshole
at 10-1. Obviously a really tough spot, Mobley and Jared Allen there, but Sabonis is Sabonis. We have AD at 99, best matchup on the board for centers here against Charlotte. You go your way down. I mean, Claxton's in a good spot against Golden State. It's $6,900. You'd like to see, him be again continuing the minutes, 26, surrounded by a bunch of 30s. Ben Simmons won't be playing in this game, so maybe there's a ceiling center minutes, but he's been still popping. Reed, $6,200. A lot of people are going to go there. Where else are you taking a peek? Do we get J Val revenge game at 65? If no Zion, maybe.
I'm so sick of this Nick Claxton minute thing. It's so annoying. Jock Vaughn pretty much came out and said they don't want to play him more than 30 minutes. They said they don't think he can handle it. So that seems like the dream is dead. Playing Nick Claxton big minutes seems kind of falling by the wayside. Not to say he can't get 45 fantasy points in 26 minutes against Philly the other day. So if you wanted Claxton, it's fine. Just not my favorite. Jared Allen being questionable is a little interesting. Obviously, Mobley would start at the 5. I wonder what that would do. Would they start Niang? Would they start Levert?
Yeah.
How would the starting lineup shake out if Jared Allen were to sit? I guess we'll see. Valanciunas, the minutes have been pretty good.
Yeah, Nance has been hurt.
Is he back? That's the question.
Did he come
Nance
back?
is questionable.
Yeah.
He is questionable for this game. So if there's no Nance, dude, I'm sure.
Yep, we'll see. We'll see what Toronto does. Like you mentioned, all the minutes. Pirtle played over 30 in this double overtime game. So matchup again. Reed's gonna play. You think you assume Mo Bamba, I guess, is where people go. Then I mean, splitting time. We go small ball. Like, what do you think happens here against Dallas?
I think there's a lot of different routes, and this feels very fluid to me because if Kleba starts, then Kleba stretches the floor. You might see Marcus Morris at the 5.
Play the 5, yeah.
If it's Richaun Holmes, I think we see Paul Reed. I think it's a traditional center because Richaun Holmes is not stretching the floor at all. Like, he's just around the rim all the time. So we'll know what Dallas's lineup's going to look like. We know Derek Lively's out. We don't know the status of Maxi Kleber. So TBD on my feelings, like, officially on Paul Reed. But if it's Kleber, I don't know if we can get there, especially when if Pirtle's active, like, you could just play Jakob Pirtle at 6K.
Yeah.
They were playing Thad Young, but clearly, not enough for it to necessarily matter. Like, that got 18 minutes and whatnot, but Pirtle's clearly the guy unless he gets dealt with Jonte Porter out. The Paul Reed situation, I feel like, is going to be fluid moving forward, because if he's only going to play 15 minutes against Brooklyn, but, like, that's a situation where Nick Claxton he just floats around the rim, and Paul Reed's only playing 15 minutes, dude. What do we do with that information?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Again, I mean, it's good to talk about. I still feel like, I just can't get over Okonkwo here.
Yeah, it's Okonkwo. Yep, that's the guy.
If I was doing the player grid tomorrow, my center might just include 2 players, Anthony Davis and Onyeka Okonkwo, and, like, move on. Like, I don't. They're a value play and they're a top tier play. Like, you can just pick one and build around. So, is there any other centers that you think are worth discussing here?
Would you play Kleba if he starts?
No.
8 for 11 last game. We got the vintage one a year Maxi Kleber blow-up game.
We'll always have that day 3 years ago where he was
1%, maybe not even. 1%. I think he was 0.8% Maxi Kleber day.
He went for 50, I think, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, he might have went for like 35 actual or something.
Yeah, it was nutty. He hit a bunch of threes. He had, like, blocks. It was great. Great day for the subs that day. Us all in on the Maxi Kleber train that night, and only us. Maxi Kleber train that night. No, I don't think I go back to the well. I mean, what are the odds of him being that efficient a scorer again? And then if there's Kyrie and Luka,
if there's no Luka,
I don't know. Probably not. But I could conceivably see a way that you play all 3. I guess I'm not playing him over Okonkwo, but
you don't have to.
You don't have to.
You said
so.
You don't even have to, because Maxi's also power forward center.
Yeah. Who? Oh, Maxi Kleber.
Kleber's also power forward center.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to play him over, so I guess you could conceivably just play all 3, Davis, Okonkwo, and Kleber, and gives your 2 value plays that'll be spent up outside of Davis too. So,
what if Holmes starts and Kleber's out?
I mean, listen, if he's got to be out though.
He's out. No, Maxi's out. In this scenario, Maxi's out. Holmes is starting.
What's Dwight Powell's status?
He's active.
Dwight
Powell is just like.
Did Powell play that game that Holmes
played them? He was the backup center, I believe. He was the direct backup. He was the direct backup in both the last 2 games.
Okay.
Dwight Powell. One Holmes played 30. One.
I mean, we love Richaun Holmes.
Well, on the court.
On the court.
He's on the court.
On the court.
Not in the court.
Revenge game as well against Philly,
True.
I'd rather play Richaun Holmes than Maxi Kleber.
I would yes. Like, you're saying in the scenario that they're starting. Like, one is starting versus.
If I had to pick one to start, the other one be ruled out. I'd rather play Richaun Holmes over Maxi Kleber.
I agree.
I would play whoever starts. And it doesn't really change the way we would play that rotation because you can Aneki and AD both have forward eligibility. So you can plug one at power forward, plug one at forward. So
I agree.
Let's get a lineup built though. I imagine we're just gonna go AD and Gonku here, right?
Yeah, and Lonnie Walker.
And Lonnie Walker.
I feel like those are like the 3 easiest plugs.
Okay. 51.
So how do you not play Anthony Davis?
I didn't. I
oh
did.
Boy. I'm not technically saying that at you. I'm just like, I'm more so adding anyone who doesn't play Anthony Davis.
I have Cam Thomas here too. I just want to get some games here. Can we just stack it?
Paul George, Clippers.
You want to go Paul George on the second line back to back here?
No, I want to go Kawhi.
I want to go Kawhi, dude. Yeah, I like Kawhi here.
Probably can't play Kuminga though. I would assume that Kuminga would mean.
I'm fine. Would you rather Podzinski or Kuminga?
The ability to build will probably be easier with Podziemski, but not. I mean, I think the answer we both have would be Kuminga. I just don't know if it's like feasible.
Cheap guard.
This is an Ish Smith thing. If Ish Smith also didn't mention the Jaden Springer 26 minutes again the other day off the bench, but
that was aided by the ejection.
Toby. And Beverly being ejected, Toby being out.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
I'm fine going with that at 34. He's gonna play. He has to play, right?
No, he does. But no. We say that, and then he doesn't play. We've seen this.
The last 3 games, though, 21, 19, 26.
I know. He's a good fantasy. He's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
I mean, there's obviously some ups and downs there. He had a 3 fantasy point game here, so.
It's not great.
But if it helps you get a little stars and scrubby,
Yeah, it does.
You can throw in a guy down here that we might like. Honestly, I haven't seen anything I like in this tier, though.
No, really, no. If we want to just
gonna go back to Norm.
Yeah.
Go back to Norm. I like Norm. He's comfortable.
Util
48. I don't know. Trey Murphy.
I mean, that's Trey Murphy is
Marcus Morris.
Gary Trent played 40 minutes today.
I know, but is he gonna play all those minutes again?
Torian Prince $44,000, and then we have like $800 to spend if we wanted to somewhere.
I could do Prince. That's fine. Where's Prince?
4K.
There you go.
I like Malik Monk over Powell.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're like the same play. I would say that Monk probably has a higher.
Yeah, higher scoring ceiling for sure. All right, example lineup for everybody. Podziemski, Cam Thomas, Lonnie Walker, Gonku Davis, Monk, Leonard, and Prince. $400 left over for y'all there. James, on your playbook. If you have any questions, find us in the Discord. Get us on Twitter. Like, subscribe. We'll see you back here 5 o'clock Eastern time, everybody.